Hey everyone, Andre here along with Tom and Nick. How are you all doing today? So apparently, as far as I'm aware, Nintendo's shadow dropped some kind of update. I assume it's the Switch 2. I actually don't even know. This stream could be mislabeled. I actually don't even know for sure. I've not watched the chat. I'm excited to check it out though. I don't know. First off, can you guys see me? Can you guys confirm you guys can see me? We're gonna get started here in just a moment. Because I don't think any of us have seen anything from this trailer, right? Nick or Tom?
I literally just woke up. I was in my bed. I just saw it. I'm shocked because they just posted it on. Is it on Twitter? Like I just saw it on the YouTube channel that there was a post.
Okay, well, yeah, here we go then. It is on YouTube, so we're gonna watch this right now. Chat, let me know if you can hear this as we go through it. I'm gonna turn it up pretty loud, regardless. We're gonna start it. I think people just watched it, so here we go. We're gonna hit play. If you guys are ready, I'll do a countdown and we'll watch it together. This is to synchronize Tom and Nick. So,
yeah.
3. Wait, actually, hold on. Let me confirm everyone can hear us. Can you guys hear us? Every guys can see? I think so.
Let's go.
Okay.
Can you hear us, chat? Morning, Aiden.
Oh, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. This is our first look at the Switch 2 successor, I assume. Oh, that looks like a Switch. Looks a lot like a Switch. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh.
It still looks like a Switch. Wait, it's bigger.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh my.
There's a USB slot. This is weird. This is an interesting ad.
They're showing how it's all different on the fly.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's very similar. Yeah, kickstand matches the links. Everything matches the links.
Oh, it's flexible.
Alright.
I like this trailer a lot more than OLED.
Okay, yeah, the colors are real. I like the colors.
This is it.
Portal colors.
It's
yeah,
Platoon.
the leaks are 100% on point so far. Including that. I like the color change. That was neat.
Yeah. Pretty clever. There's an out.
Yep. Oh, I actually totally missed that.
You can race them.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, that magnetic click. Bam. 2. Yeah, it is Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2 confirmed. Oh my goodness. We're almost done. Oh, there's Mario Kart. It looks.
Oh my.
Wow.
It's not Double Dash though! It's not Double Dash!
It's never gonna be Double Dash.
No, I need Double Dash! It looks slightly cuter than the current Mario Kart. Is that just me?
No, it definitely looks cuter.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe more like original art.
Play Nintendo Switch 2 games Play Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Asterisk. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. And they're showing Mario Wonder there as well. Wow, that really was.
Oh my.
April 2nd.
What?
April 2nd. Oh my.
Unless they got the month
I missed it.
and
okay, April 2nd. All right. Wow, they did not show much. I mean, they showed the system, but like, oh, I can see the mouse segment again. Hold on. Do you think okay, do you think that was a big... Yeah, that looks like a mouse, doesn't it, right?
It's kind of going on the surface. That's the thing.
This is what... So let me play again for anyone who's just joining us now. We'll play through it again one more time. Raw reaction. Nick, what do you think?
I'm shocked. I mean, just one game, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh my! Like you said, the characters totally look cuter. They don't look chibi, but they look a little rounder.
Yeah, a little rounder, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, like Mario looks shorter here, but it could be the carts too being smaller, or maybe like Bowser's still really big, so maybe weight and size will play a factor.
Okay, forget Mario Kart. How about the console?
So when we look at the mouse part, it looks like it clicks onto the wrist strap, and then that's when it kind of slides on the actual surface. But I don't think we've seen this wrist strap yet, right? Like this is the first time we're seeing.
I didn't even look at the wrist strap. It's coming up again on the stream here in a moment.
Yes,
so.
when it pulls up the when it goes onto like the surface for the first time, it clicks into a wrist strap first. But it's weird because it's not connected to anyone's wrist. It's just on the surface. So like we've seen before with the speculation of it being a mouse, maybe this is what you have to use to actually connect it to be on the surface, I guess. Like it's weird that they're showing it the wrist strap like that for the first time instead of on someone's actual wrist.
It's yeah. I think it's because it's disconnected and it's going to be used, independently of the system at that point. That's maybe why it's on there. I don't think it means a whole lot. But Nick, what do you think of the overall reveal? Do you think this was a good reveal? Anything here that surprised you?
Nothing too surprising. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just happy it's I'm
confirmed.
happy
It's
to
real.
know it exists. It's
Yeah.
real. Like we can actually talk about it now. It's not like, it's not we're not speculating, right? Like this thing's real now.
This is basically exactly what Nate said it was going to be. Nate the Hate, who was getting a lot of hate for this because there was no announcement in advance. But now I can see why they didn't announce it, because they didn't really announce that much. Everything matches the leaks. Everything. The leaks were dead on. Those 3D renders, spot on, perfect, amazing. And they barely showed any games. Again, as Nate said, they only showed Mario Kart. I'm gonna be honest. Can I be honest with you guys? Raw reaction. It looks like Mario Kart 8. I'm gonna take a look at it. What?
It's only until you see the characters that it's like, oh.
Yeah,
that's
the
a little
character.
bit different.
It's only characters where I'm like, oh, they changed something a little bit. But this looks so similar to me. You could tell me that's a booster course pass. I wouldn't know the difference, assuming if I were not running GameXplain.
Yeah, it's gonna be that the console itself. They made a good job differentiating it. Mario Kart, not as much, but they need all that. They need all the little bits and polygons to come off Mario and show he's smaller now.
Yeah, this was a weird reveal. Can we talk about that a little bit? This was weird. I mean, I'm glad it's official, but Nintendo, to me, seeing how they announced it here, where you literally see a Switch transform into the Switch 2, they know this is an iterative console. Like they are positioning this as I feel like more of an extension of an existing family than any other successor has been. That's how I feel. That's my take. They're like, it's a Switch. It's a little bigger. The Joy-Con's a little different. And it plays a Mario Kart looks very much like the one you've been playing for 10 years.
Yeah, but it was a great idea though to do the slow transition, slow change to really show the differences. So you're not just like having one and the other and like kind of guessing. That was clever, I'd say. And having the colors and the Joy-Cons just around the sticks and at the ends, that's another good way to make it look like, hey, this is different, it's bigger, and be very clear it's not like no Wii U moment, like this is just an add-on.
Yeah, I mean, they made it clear.
Yeah.
You can almost feel the echoes of the Wii U reveal here, where they're like, we're not making that mistake again. We're gonna have it very clear this is a different Switch by literally having it transform. Unless some mistakes, if your Switch being able to transform on the fly like this one does, which would be amazing, by the way. Like they snuck in that liquid metal tech years ago. So yeah, messaging wise, you could not be clearer. But they told us very, very little we didn't already know. Still very little. Mario Kart really is the only thing here that's new, I think. And the wrist straps, I guess, which Nick latched onto. See what I did there?
Yeah, that's really it. Like those are the only things new.
Yeah,
about
and
it.
that's maybe the mouse, but it could just be them sliding the Joy-Con around on the table. But
No, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Like leaks happened, I don't know how surprised Nintendo was. Hopefully they weren't surprised at all that the leaks happened. But had we not known about the leaks, would that have changed? Would you be super excited? I mean, maybe you're still excited. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, that's what I expected. But do you think the leaks affected perception? Might affect perception? Would you be super stoked for this right now had we not known the leaks? Are you super stoked regardless? What's the feeling here?
I'm in the one camp where I'm just ready to get a more powerful Switch. That's all I really want. Because
Right.
I
So
love
this is
the
it.
Switch. This is it. It's probably my favorite Nintendo console of all time. So just have something a little bit beefier than what we've been playing for the past 8 years. It's like, oh, I'm on board. Sign me up.
yeah, I've been switching over my Steam Deck a lot lately. It'd be nice switch it over. It'd be nice to go back to Nintendo Switch. And a quick note on console too. It is the characters. Okay, this might be kind of different. The corners on the dock are more rounded, and it's kind of like a different look, like a more friendly look. And maybe that's also part of the vision of Mario Kart, trying to have like the cuter, smaller Mario going with it.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's like, you know, when all the app icons rounded off the corners, you know, and all the website links and everything. Yeah, even the dock matches the links perfectly too, by the way. So that, I mean, that'd be interesting if the design of the Switch 2 itself is a look into the future of Switch art design, Switch games art design, art direction, where we see like a cuter, chibier, you know, type look to everything. So.
I'd be down for it.
Something to point out, I don't know, I'm trying to get a good look at the right Joy-Con. I don't think we can see the C button. It looks like it's just, like, we could see the C button, but there's no C over it. It's just blank.
Oh, let me. I'm
trying to get to it.
You guys are talking.
Here we go. Okay, see.
Right, like it just.
So yeah, you're right. It's just a square.
It's just a square. There's nothing on it.
That's interesting. Maybe that's how it'll be. Maybe they kept it out of the render for some reason, so you're not discussing it, even though we will be regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't change anything. It's still there. Weird. Yeah, that's very strange. So, but the mouse functionality, you know, seemingly confirmed at the least. Also, at least too, seemingly for both Joy-Cons. Like both of them are on the table, right? So, assuming that's what that represents being a mouse. With the strap almost acting like a mouse tail, you know, with a mouse cord.
Yeah, lets anyone work together, like, so you're not left out. You get two out of the box.
Yeah.
See, if we're looking at the straps right now, it looks like there's a button on top of the strap. Maybe that's the, like, eject button. It doesn't have anything on it, but it looks like a little round. If you can look at...
What time stamp are you at?
Maybe 113, 114. I'm looking at the left Joy-Con, the blue one. There's, like, a little button on the top of it. Again, like,
yeah,
this could just
I did
be...
see that.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think we've seen that before. Yeah, I mean, because is that on the strap itself? Wait,
it's definitely on. Yeah, that's definitely on the strap because if you look just at
you're right. That's interesting. Yeah, yeah, you might be right there. So I don't know myself, but cool. I want to take another look at Mario Kart here. I want to absorb this. Hold on. So we see Bowser. Oh, DK! Look at Donkey Kong. Did you see how different Donkey? He looks more like the movie version. In the back there. You guys see him?
What time?
Yeah, what time?
At the very start of Mario Kart, 153.
Okay, 150.
We got this Yoshi Diner thing.
Oh, he's more like classic Donkey Kong in a way. Like,
oh my god, he is like the movie.
Yeah, it's which the movie was based on the classic, more based on the classic version, or kind of like a combination of it. So of modern.
Andre, I believe either his arms are way bigger than normal, or that is a lot of fur on him.
He's got some fur back there, I think. Hopefully, that's a power Switch too. But getting back to the power thing real quick, and I'll talk more about Mario Kart in a moment here. They didn't really focus on that, which is surprising, actually. You know, they didn't mention anything about 4K visuals. They didn't mention anything about enhancements to existing Switch games. They didn't talk teraflops or anything. Resolutions.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Do we have thoughts about that? Like, would you expect more from that, Nick, as one who wanted more power yourself?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wanted to show at least the ending picture. What was it? Where they showed off Mario Wonder?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. There's no difference. It's like, oh, it's Mario Wonder. It's a
still
little bit
Mario
bigger.
Wonder, just bigger.
Yeah, it's still Mario Wonder. So I was like, oh, maybe if they had a little tidbit there where it's like, oh, enhance your Switch 1 games on the Switch 2.
Right.
But yeah, no details of that. So I mean, Pokemon could still run like Pokemon, like Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2. Hopefully that's not the case. It shouldn't be the case, but I wish there was a little tidbit on that in this little trailer.
Yeah. Any thoughts there, Tom?
One quick note. I went to Nintendo's site, and they're saying for more details on Nintendo Switch 2, please tune in for Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Switch 2, April 2nd.
Yeah, that was at the end of the video.
Yeah,
which is surprisingly far away, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's almost 3 months away from right now. Just a little under 3 months, 2.5 months. And which means, you know, the release date isn't going to be happening within a month of that, I imagine. So, I mean, it could still hit that maybe it could still hit that May release. That just feels a little farther out than I would have expected. I would have thought we would have a follow-up in maybe February or something. But they're holding all the way off to April, which is going to be after pretty much all the Switch games you know about, except for Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon ZA.
Yeah. And what's interesting, though, they will be going to different host cities and schedules with they get Switch 2 after that, starting like in New York, April 4 to 6, Tokyo, April 26, 27th. So they'll be bringing it around to different cities too to try out.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on this. I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed by this. Like, all it did is affirm everything we knew, and it showed off a Mario Kart that barely looks any different. Like, that's how I feel. That's my gut reaction. Chat, am I off base here? I need to know.
Was
I'm
your
just trying to...
expectation with the, did you hope that we would see people actually playing it, like, in public? Like, the first Switch trailer for the Switch 1?
Yeah.
I want to see more of my city, Vancouver.
Yeah, it was in the original trailer, right?
Oh.
Yeah, apparently, and only one game is what I'm a bit disappointed at. Even if it was like Mario Kart and not another Nintendo game, but more like third-party games or whatever, I would love that.
Oh, actually,
like...
someone did point out. Sorry, that I wasn't even paying attention to this part. Mario Kart does apparently have 24 carts now, which okay,
way more.
That's a lot. That's double what we have currently. So
wait, like 24 players?
That's what they're saying.
No, see, if you look at the racing lines, like I'm at 1
5, 6,
minute
7,
41.
8, 9, 10, 11. I count 12 at 158.
Hold on, let's take a go. Maybe it was confirmed somewhere.
So yeah, Tom. So wait, yeah, go to. I'm looking at 141. If you look at the racing track and not the actual racers, like the racing lines where each player starts, there's 6 in a row. So it's 6, 6, 6, 6. So 24.
Okay, got it.
Right now, I think they're only showing 12 racers on the actual track, but it looks like they have 24 starting lines.
Yeah, I think I may have counted 13 at one point. This is gonna be fun counting on stream here. Okay, hold on. There's one, I think there's 1, 2 at the bottom of the screen here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you go to the very start of the trailer, at the Switch is turning, you can see, I think, 15 racers at the least. So.
Okay, well, I guess maybe they figured out something for better to support more racers online. That's cool. That's going to be, I don't know what kind of mess that's going to be with items, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's my big concern. I know, because once you added 12 racers, it already got insane. And adding 24 with items flying everywhere, assuming match accurate, ooh boy. So
maybe new new items or items that do different things. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom, to go back to your point where you said like we wish we saw third-party games, like I think that would have helped shown off the power. Like if they showed off Elden Ring or Red Dead Redemption or just any of those big third-party titles that can no way possibly run on the original Switch.
Yep. That's like a bit more kind of, you know, a boost to this trailer, because you're right. Because like if seeing this and like the naked eye is like, well, it just kind of looks the same, or not clearly showing all the race cars, all the extra players at once, not like seeing a detailed look at them from far out. It doesn't show it. So.
Yeah, it's, I will say, I think the biggest surprise, not even surprise, the thing I was happiest to see was just the confirmation of the mouse ability, because that was the thing that was most mysterious. I mean, seemingly confirmation, they didn't legit use it as a mouse. That's what it seems like it is. But I think to your point that you were just talking about, it would have made sense to show some kind of third-party game, just so we could have a better understanding of, you know, again, the power of this thing. Because right now, it almost just feels like just another Switch, you know? It just feels like it's a better Switch. The Joy-Cons are magnetic. It looks cooler, you know, but it feels like a true evolution, which, you know, on the one hand is what it is. But on the other hand, like, if I were just a generic consumer, right, and I didn't really follow Nintendo that closely, I'd be like, what the hell is here to make me want to buy this? You know, is it playing the same games? There's a little message at the end saying, no, it'll play Switch 2 games, but Mario Kart looks basically the same, minus a handful of new racers, you know? Yeah, I think we need that third party, like, seeing like AAA third party games running on Switch 2, that would have been big, you know?
Yeah.
No,
they were really clear in their wording to say plays Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Like, they want to make sure it's like the games will be different. You can't just play these new ones on your Switch. So,
right. Well, any other thoughts before we? Oh, we got super chat here. I missed this from Hala K. Thank you. Says it looks like Chipmunk Cheek Mario from the 64 era. Ooh. Okay, hold on. They're talking about Mario Kart.
Oh, like the render? I think.
Yeah, I
there's the
think so.
render from,
I can see it. Yeah, he's got like the puffy cheeks. Almost looks like Mario when he's underwater in Mario Odyssey as well.
Yeah.
Where he's holding his breath. So yeah, I mean, the art style is cute, but like keep in mind you're looking at the characters on the back 90% of the time in Mario Kart. Which funny enough, real quick, if there are 24 racers, that's the first time since Double Dash we've technically had that. Granted, it was only wait, no, I'm sorry. No, that's wrong. That was 16. So yeah, this is most racers, no matter how you cut it. Anyway, so, we got another super chat here from Fawn. What a great way to start my birthday. That's right, happy birthday, Fawn. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you to Hollow K for the super chat as well. Much appreciated. So, guys, other thoughts? Anything else?
I think...
Go ahead, Tom.
I'm going to just say quick, by only having Mario Kart on it, the discussion becomes like Switch 2 and Mario Kart. It doesn't become like Switch 2 and its games, I think, a little bit.
Wait, sorry, say that again, Tom?
With only having like one game on it, like the discussion becomes the console and that one game, like instead of like the console and the games it plays, in my opinion. So maybe we'll see how quick it is until they follow up with more details.
Yeah. Well, we know it's going to be April 2nd, right, with the Direct.
Yeah, but like if stuff will happen before that. Like,
True.
I don't know. Like, if there's only this trailer and nothing until April 2nd, like, what would your reaction be? Like,
I think that's going to be the case, honestly. I don't think we're going to get anything else until April 2nd.
That's what I think, too.
They don't want us to forget about Donkey Kong, right?
Donkey
Donkey Kong came out today, so...
And Xenoblade Chronicles
X. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Like, it's kind of funny that I feel like we almost know very little more than we knew before this trailer, right? This just confirms everything we already knew from the leaks, plus a Mario Kart game, which obviously they're making one. But now we know it looks similar to the Mario Karts we've already been playing, but it has, 24 racers. Now, there could be more there that they haven't shown yet, obviously. We only saw a few seconds of it. But, yeah, I mean, it was just an affirmation of everything that had leaked. We got some super chats here. Tomer says, it looks more like an April 1st video than a new console. we had our own.
Yan's good, but I don't know, like, I guess Yan could do that, so.
We had a trailer for our own Switch 2 on April 1st that looked not too far removed from how they presented it here, Tom. So, no voiceover, like, just simple changes. We got another super chat here from, is it Yamin? Is that how you pronounce it? Probably not. But thank you. They say, finally they announced has Nintendo reached out to you guys for press events yet. We've not heard anything ourselves. Maybe, I don't know if others have or not. So, we got...
Probably...
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, I think that'd be time later. Like, it wouldn't be right away. Anyway.
No, I mean, I suspect the press events wouldn't be until closer to April 2nd or after April 2nd. Or it could be paired with it again, like the January event for the first Switch. So, which if you look at the timeline, this is very similar to that, right? Because we had that in October, then 2.5 months later, I think we had the January event. So they're following the exact same timeline here, basically.
So if that's the case, then we should see a release in maybe June, because after the January event, it came out in March. It was shortly after that, so maybe a 2-month gap between big direct, big release, or big reveal, and then the actual release date of it.
I think you're right. We'll be looking at June then. Yeah. Good one. There's a super chat from Sharp Vortex Games. Thank you. Says, is the direct April or February? It is April 2nd. It's a little confusing with some regions how they present the date, but it's April 2nd. So, right? It's the 2nd. Is that right?
Yeah, it's April 2nd.
Yeah. Oh, right. Tom became an error screen. Tom, are you okay?
Yeah, I'll work on this, but yeah, this is how it's thrown me for a loop.
Yeah.
And I'm now just color bars.
I guess so. If you got that, you were that excited. You just couldn't manifest it in a physical form. Red Hat Guy with a super chat. Thank you. Says Steam Deck is still superior. Also, I hope they don't release games that can also run on Switch 1. But I also hope that they don't release games that can run on Switch 1 because arbitrarily limited to Switch 2. Oh, they don't release games that can run on Switch 1. Oh, I see what they're saying. They're saying they want, if you're going to be Switch 2 exclusive, they want to see why. Like, there better be a good reason for it. Like, it better be able to do things that Switch 1 can't. It better be using the inputs that Switch 1 can't, like the mouse, seemingly. So I totally get that. I agree with you. If they hold it back purely for marketing reasons, that will be unfortunate, So
wait, with that comment, Andre, will Mario Kart be available on the regular Switch, or is this going to be a Switch 2 exclusive?
I mean, my guess would be that that kind of shows their point actually. I'm almost certain Switch 2 Mario Kart I hope I'm wrong. My thinking is Switch 2 is gonna be, Mario Kart is gonna be Switch 2 exclusive because that's why they're showing it here. That is my guess. But again, I looked at it initially. I'm like, that looks like that could be on Switch.
Run on the regular Switch, right? Yeah. So,
but maybe it couldn't be. I mean, look, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, maybe it looks a little better, and then there are double the racers, so maybe there are technical reasons why it couldn't work. But the thing is, it doesn't immediately sell you on it. Like this is. I was gonna say, let me put it this way: Nintendo Land, when they showed that off, I thought that looked more impressive for the hardware than this does 10 years later on Switch 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally does. Well, with Nintendo Land 2, it was in HD, so like it was our first time seeing like a Nintendo game in HD.
True.
And something like that, I mean, the gamepad was a huge functionality for that game, so it's like obviously that's not going to run on the regular Wii. But yeah, you look at this Mario Kart, it's like, yeah, this kind of looks like a booster course pass.
Right, that's almost legit what I thought. I'm like, is this like one of the tour tracks I don't remember that I come across and can never remember the full layout of? Yeah, so this is very strange. I'm just a little disappointed that there's no super obvious key point of distinction of this new Mario Kart beyond possibly the 24 racers. Like I was hoping we see it and it's like, oh, that's a new Mario Kart. Like that's like the brand new feature for it, and we're not seeing that. It's just Mario Kart, which it'll be fun. I will play the hell out of it. I'll be excited for it, and there still could be a lot of stuff that we don't know, obviously. But I was really hoping, like, you see a screenshot of that game, you instantly understand why it's a new Mario Kart.
Yeah.
We got some more super chats. Oh,
yeah,
sorry. Tom, go ahead real quick.
Well, maybe the tracks are way bigger. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. It could be open world Mario Kart.
Could be using the mouse to, like, scoot around your cart.
There you go. You can pinpoint those shells now. That'd be big.
Yeah.
All right, Justin with the super chat says, compared to the OG Switch trailer, this was horrible. Horrible. What do you guys think?
I mean, the OG Switch trailer is so good. Everyone's having fun. They're showing the actual, like, practicality and usage of the actual Switch. It's like, oh, I'm going to a party, let me bring my Switch. Oh, I'm going to a friend's house, let me bring my Switch with me. Oh, here's Splatoon, here's a new Mario, here's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, they show so much in that, so it is completely different compared to, oh, here's maybe a new feature, maybe it's going to act like a mouse functionality, here's a new Mario Kart, oh, and you can play your old Switch games on it. So yeah, when you break it down like that compared to the original one, yeah, the original Switch trailer was definitely better.
I mean, because it was a whole shift. So I don't know if you can really, I don't know if it's fully fair to compare them 1-to-1, but if you just compare like the energy, I think it's a stark difference. Because there we saw people, having fun, playing the games, playing new games that looked new, and here there are no people. We don't see anyone reacting to this thing in any way. We only see, the individual pieces of the hardware interacting in some ways. Which
we guess at the mouse gimmick too.
Yeah,
and we don't see the C button if that's like a new Miiverse or something. Original Switch 1 trailer did drag on a bit though when I watched it again the other day with like the esports stuff. I'm like,
that segment is pretty long.
I was watching that recently too. I'm like, where did they film that? Did they fill a stadium? Is that all CG? How did they do that? Did they just film like a boxing ring and superimpose their Switch imagery? Some more super chats are coming in. Petra JT says, so they really just went, ta-da! Nice on! Switch 2, here you go. I love it. They totally did. That is the nice on of Switch reveals. I love it. Some more super chats. Torner says it could be much better with a new 3D Mario game. Yes, I think. But I think that would more clearly maybe show what's different, perhaps. But maybe they're intentionally hiding that, Maybe they don't want us to know yet. David with a super chat. Thank you for the super chats, by the way. David says, I can already see a new Mario Kart input where you lay both Joy-Cons flat on the table and mimic a steering wheel to turn. I'm gonna be honest, David, that sounds terrible, and you're probably right. That's probably how that's gonna work. What, Tom?
I could only imagine it.
Yeah. That would be funny. I mean, I imagine at the least they'll still have the motion controls for it. But I do hope that they do something new with that mouse input. Like, as we were saying, I don't know if they'll give you, like, pinpoint accuracy with aiming, but that would be something new, They can find some use for it. Maybe, what if you have... Here we go. What if you have a grappling hook? You can use a pointer to point to grapple points, and you grapple to them, Something crazy like that, right?
That'd be a new drift.
Yeah, that would be. It would be like the drift in your own game, Tom. Carpoon.
Yeah. I thought you were trying to rip off my game there, too. It was honest, but anyway.
But wait, what if they go a more simpler route for the actual mouse usage in like Mario Kart? What if they use it for just like creating tracks, or going back to like the DS style of actually customizing your car? Because in the Mario Kart DS, you could make the pixelated little icons for your car, or for just like your profile.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah, more
Bring,
customization
like,
would be
track
good.
editor stuff in, like the F-Zero X track editor on 64DD, doing something like that for Mario Kart would be a huge new feature.
That would be, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think more F-Zero X, or sorry, F-Zero 99 has this cool feature where you can customize your ship too, and it's like very limited, but the way it works, like it still makes it feel distinct even among a pack of 99 racers, and that's really neat. You know, like you're like, yeah, I stand out among this giant pack, and you can even identify your rivals that way too, which is cool. But the thing with Mario Kart being so character focused, you know, I wonder, like, if someone even changes their cart, could you even really notice that much, you know, like beyond, I mean, assuming they keep even the base customizations they already have from Deluxe. I don't know. They got stickers.
Yeah, you can earn stickers and put them on the cart.
Super Tom brother, is this your brother Tom? They say this trailer gets less exciting the more it loops. Yeah, I've had it on repeat for like, what, 15 minutes now? No, 30 minutes at this point, basically.
I will say having someone called Super Tom Brother is extremely confusing for me in chat, but so I'll get used to it.
Quaver says, IR sensor gone. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it?
Oh, it's on
Wait,
the right
no,
one.
wait, hold on.
Is that correct?
It's
There is
kinda
a
like
round
an
thing.
indent
Was there what, Tom?
on the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's still there, actually. Hold on. It's on the right
Wait, is it-
Joy-Con. I don't see one on the left, I think. It's hard to tell. Well, it's really hard to tell. Are you guys looking too right now, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
I'm trying to get a good picture of it.
55-second mark, you can kind of see something that looks like the IR sensor there. So
Yeah, I think I see that as well. It's 51 mark too. So I think the RS sensor may still be there, which makes sense for backwards compatibility at the least. And you know, any future ideas too. But like, you need to do any more Labo, which you probably won't. But hey, we got another super chat here. Man Cub Studios, thank you. It says Man Cub Studios 34 says, "Is this the actual trailer from Nintendo? I just woke up early this morning. This is real. This is legit. What you're seeing on screen right now is the reveal of the Switch 2. Don't be fooled by its Apple-like appearance or the lack of games. This is a Switch 2 reveal. Crazy, right?"
Do you guys remember for the original Switch 1 trailer, was it just a video drop, or did they live stream it?
or like announce it.
I'm pretty sure it was I think it was just a video drop. I'm pretty
just a
confident it was a
video
video
like
drop. Why?
No, I was just wondering if there was anything different. If they just did like a pre-recording video and they just posted it and it just dropped live and everyone had to watch it live, instead of like this where it's like, oh, it's just a video.
Yeah, the only difference is we knew it was coming at that point. So we knew at least it was happening. We could be ready for it. We got another super chat from Yamin. Again, thank you. Says people need to give Nate the Hate some love now. Yeah, absolutely. Nate the Hate, friend of the channel, he put his neck out there and he got it right. And he got a lot of hate for there not being a pre-announcement, which ended up being the case. People were like, they can't shadow drop a Switch 2. I'm like, yeah, they could. You know, it's not. Everything's been heard of for Nintendo until they actually do it. So yeah, props to Nate the Hate for getting it right, and you know, all the haters can shut up now. At least about that. They'll go on to something else now. J Rip with a super chat. Thank you. Says there's a C button on the sides of both Joy-Con. Wait, is that the case? Is that the
didn't
case?
see one on both.
Hold on. I'm waiting for the transformation here. Come on, Joy-Cons. Here they go. They're transforming.
Maybe it's just the capture button.
Yeah, that's the that is just the snapshot button, I believe, right?
Yeah, this on the left one.
Yeah. So I believe that's just snapshot. I wish that were, you know, had full parity, but yeah. Anyways.
Oh, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but tickets become available tomorrow
Oh, really?
for the events. Yeah, it says registration is open from January 17th at 12 p.m. Pacific time to January 26th.
Wow. Well, we better try and sign up for that then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Considering how fast the online playtest went out.
Yeah, no kidding.
These are gonna be instantly gone.
Yeah. Poof. It's like it's as quick as a Switch snap.
Wow, that's real quick. We did get the new Switch 2 snap sound here too, right? It's like, here it goes. I think it's coming up. Wait for it. It's on. Yeah. Sounds a little deeper now. Like it has a little bit more reverb to it or something. So I hope it actually makes a sound in real life.
Yeah.
Blank says in the chat, why does this look like those fan-made fake trailers? Not saying it looks bad, but why is it giving those vibes? I mean, I think it's for a few different reasons. One is that it literally matches the leaks. The leaks had everything spot on. And so we've already seen, and also the leaks didn't focus on the games like this, it just focused on the hardware. So yeah, I mean, a fan could have probably made this. Maybe just a little less polished, but... What do you guys think on that?
I think fans are really good considering. Was that movie where like Superman had a mustache during filming and like a fan used AI to make it look better than the actual movie studio that paid millions of dollars?
To remove it. They had to remove the and it looked terrible. Yeah. That was that Batman vs Superman, I think, maybe?
Yes. Never underestimate how good people are at 3D, especially when they know something. And it's just moving a product around, right? It's not an organic product, so I think it's a bit easier in that way. But like the lighting and stuff, it's a little different than what you normally see in a fan trailer, I'd say.
We got some more super chats. Matt JF says, the new Mario Kart showcase is called Mario Bros. Circuit, but looks like a desert track. I noticed that too. Very weird, isn't it? It shows the name, I think, at the very start here. Right there, Mario Bros. Circuit. And then you're in a desert. Which is so strange. Did Mario and Luigi get like evicted and they have to live here now? Like, what's going on? Then you got this like swirly thing around the rock formation, and a bunch of flags here too, which I'll have to do an analysis on this, guys. So, Tomer with another super chat, thank you, says, is it just me who see a lot of repairs for the inner connections for the Joy-Cons? It looks like it can be broken easily by mistake, or be spot and break. So they're saying it looks fragile, which I have had that concern too. The slot. Yeah.
I'll say if it wasn't Nintendo, I'd be concerned. We'll see the actual what it's like in practice, but Nintendo usually makes durable products that can survive fires.
Tom, though, this is the Switch drift era.
I know it's a drift era, but that just happens naturally. It doesn't happen from use.
It's just old age. That's all it is. Nintendo Gamer says, do you guys think Switch 1, who's a member of the channel, thank you Nintendo Gamer, they ask, do you guys think Switch 1 Joy-Cons will be compatible with Switch 2 for multiplayer? Unlike DualShock 4 or the DualSense, the new Joy-Cons don't look that different outside of the new C buttons. I personally think, they won't physically attach to the system, obviously, because they shouldn't be able to. I think they will be compatible, because it's backwards compatible. Every past Nintendo system has been backwards compatible, like Wii and Wii U. They've supported the previous generation. And so I think at the least they'll support it for Switch 1. And I think for Switch 2 games that don't rely on Switch 2 exclusive features, which will probably be most of them. So I think Switch 1 Joy-Cons and Pro Controllers will work just fine.
See, Andre, you don't think they're going to go the route of PlayStation where you can only use PS5 controllers on PS5 games and PS4 games? Like, you think the Switch 1 Joy-Cons are going to work on Switch 2 games? Because as long as it doesn't have that feature that it needs, like maybe a mouse feature or something that it needs to actually
here's why. I think they can't because of one game, Ring Fit Adventure. If you want to play that on Switch 2, I don't think people are gonna be upset they have to buy a whole brand new ring for it, right? To account for the new Joy-Con. So I think that means the previous generation will be compatible, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overly optimistic on this. Green Owl with a super chat says, DK in the Mario Kart has Mario movie design. Cool. I know, I love that, right? That is actually probably the biggest point of difference in this entire trailer. I love that design. I think it's really cool, actually. I don't know if I would necessarily want it for every game, but for Mario Kart, it makes so much sense, especially with how the Mario movie, combined these universes in a coherent fashion. I love that it actually reflects that design. Actually, I don't mind the idea of Mario's Donkey Kong having a different design than DK's Donkey Kong, if that makes sense.
Oh, I actually like that. Like having a distinct difference between the two. Like, oh, this is Donkey Kong living in Mario's world, and this is Donkey Kong living in Donkey Kong's world.
Exactly. So, wait, okay, so Nintendo Gamer says the trailer mentions some NS1 games. Is it just some? Hold on. Before they said, I'm looking at it here, as well as Nintendo Switch games. Wait, where's the, okay, please.
Certain ones will be supported or fully compatible on Switch 2.
Oh.
So okay,
I
maybe that does rule out my idea. So I mean, that could, yeah, actually, that's interesting. That might. I can't think what else it would be except unless the Joy-Con were the deciding factor. Maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe it won't be supported. So I hope
Could
not.
it be like we're guessing the IR sensors there at the bottom?
Yeah.
If it was something like Labo. Maybe it's something like your Labo V. This won't fit in Labo VR. That can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah. Someone points out that Peach is riding with her dress on. She is. Yeah, she's in her typical outfit. It looks like, which is I don't know if that's very safe for riding a motorcycle, but she should be wearing her Mario movie gear. That's what she should have.
Yep. Could be different outfits in the end. Though.
I wouldn't be
for the
surprised.
characters, yeah.
Especially with Tour having multiple outfits, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring that in. Especially if if Nintendo realizes they could probably sell those and make money off it, which would be horrible, but wouldn't put it past them. So,
Mike Man guy is a good idea. Maybe the HD Rumble doesn't exist anymore.
I think it still exists. Is there a reason why we think it wouldn't?
Well, it's just a theory of like some games not having that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's always possible. I would be surprised if they got rid of it, just because I think that's kind of the standard form of Rumble now. It'd probably be more expensive to have something else. I'm looking at the mountains, by the way, in the background of the Mario Kart trailer. They look, are those like mushroom structures, or like? At first, I thought it looked like a button or something, but I think they're like mushrooms, like mushroom.
I think
rocks.
they're supposed to be like mushrooms. Yeah.
Do you see that too, Nick?
Yeah, I'm looking at 156. I see him in the background.
Yeah.
Mr. Foxhat is here to say praying for a Conduit 2 remaster. I almost don't want a Foxhat because I finally got Conduit 2, as I think you know. I got that a few months ago, so I still need to play that more fully. But yes, thanks to you, I actually ended up picking that up, as I believe you know by now. But yes, maybe a remaster would be, that'd be quite a surprise. Let me put it that way. I'm just looking at the new booster pad design here too. It's like more colorful, I think, than the current one. It looks bigger too. Like it's definitely wider to account for, I think, the wider player base.
What color is typically the booster pad? Is it?
I think it's
orange?
yellow.
Yeah.
Is it yellow? Yeah, I think it's yellow. I don't know.
I was gonna say blue, but the blue's for when you go to the anti-gravity mode.
Right. Correct. Yeah. I could be wrong. I'd have to double check that. I'm thinking more. I can only think of F-Zero99 specifically right now. So. Yeah, is there anything else, guys, you want to bring up about Switch 2 so far?
Yeah, so I guess the possible next time we could hear about it before the April Direct is possibly next month with Pokemon Day, right? Like that's the next time they could mention it in any way.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If anything, they might just say, "Oh, and this will be playable on the Switch 2." They won't. They probably won't say like, "Oh, ZA is exclusive to Switch 2," but you can play this on the new Switch.
And that could back up Tom's point that maybe we'll hear something more before the actual reveal. Although I mean the fact that I think you're right, Nick. If we hear anything, it'll be like that, and they'll be compatible with both systems, or like. Well, I guess we already know. Yeah, I guess they could just clarify that. Yeah, it'll be available in whatever form that means. Does it get its own SKU where it runs better on Switch 2? Are they just confirming it'll play on both since we now know some games won't? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, going back to that some things, one exception that could make my Ring Fit idea still work is that they're specifically talking about Labo. Because the new Switch wouldn't physically fit into the Labo devices. The old Joy-Cons could, but the screen wouldn't. So, yeah. I like Labo. I want another Labo VR. Make it happen, Nintendo.
Someone could, like a third party, could easily make a bigger holder for Labo, though.
Yeah. That's true. Someone mentioned that the kickstand looks disappointingly thin, or concerningly thin. That was
the side view does look very thin, unless it's like metal.
Yeah, looking at it.
At 136 or 135.
Yeah, got it.
There.
Yeah, that does. And the way it attaches, I don't know. It feels like it's barely holding on. It's holding on for dear life.
You can see, though, it has a little bit sticking out, probably for strength. Maybe that reinforces it, kind of like triangles and building design.
Yeah, actually, the whole thing's interesting. Like, why is it so much thicker for so much of it? Like, will that latch onto something, maybe? Or maybe that, I don't know. Weird.
I think that would just reinforce it.
Could be. We got more super chats. DJ Rodent says new item under Yoshi's Burger joint 155. Ooh, let's take a look. 155.
I did see that. Yeah, it's something that's glowing up. That's definitely got to be an item box, or maybe not even an item box. Maybe an item, but
Wait,
it does
under...
look like it's a burger. The
oh,
store,
it looks like a
restaurant
it almost looks like a star or something. Hold on, I'm trying to. Can I zoom in on this? No, I can't. Yeah, that's. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it does look like an item box. Yeah. I wonder if that's like a guaranteed, like a more powerful item. Like you have to go out of your way slightly to get it. You know, there's only one of them too. Meaning, like you can't do the usual thing where everyone can claim the items all at once. So and that's something I had mentioned in my Mario Kart 10 video idea. You know, like in the next Mario Kart video, like could they have better power-up boxes that guarantee better items, or maybe with it being yellow it costs coins. There's something else to speculate. Maybe if you have to cash in 5 coins for an item or something.
It does look, zooming in on it, it does look like a yellow coin box, so it could be that. It could be different.
Yeah, good catch, DJ Rodent. Good catch. James Champagne in the super chat, thank you, says, do you think they'll release a Metroid Prime 4 themed Switch 2 or nah? Oh man, if it's a launch game, which we don't know if it is or not, probably not. Because I think they're only going to have the main units. If it's later in the year, though, maybe. What do you guys think?
So wait, say the question again.
Do you think they'll release a Metroid Prime 4 themed Switch 2 or not?
Unfortunately not. I don't think Nintendo has ever released a new console and actually made like a limited edition or collector's edition for it. I mean, like you could look at the Wii U and how it had like the deluxe version, the black one, and the white one. But again, that was just a different color of the actual Wii U and not a limited edition, not tied to any specific game with that. So unless I'm wrong, I don't think they've ever tied in a game to the launch, like for the console to be limited edition.
So. Not that
feels a little early. They could do Joy-Cons, maybe. So.
Yeah, maybe that's true. If they made it look like Samus's arm cannon, that'd be neat.
Oh, that would be
right.
That'd be
especially
so cool.
If you can use mouse aiming now.
Oh my, yeah. Oh.
Mr. Fox had another super chat. Thank you. Says Conduit 3 Labo, let's go. Hell yeah, sign me up. I want that in VR. Labo VR Conduit 3. All right, we got another super chat here from Maximilius 2400, I believe. Thank you. Says thanks to everyone for the super chats. They say literally it's just a reskin in the original. Asus and Steam did it better, or Asus is it Asus? Asus?
Yeah, Asus.
Asus. Yeah. And Steam did it better. LOL. Come on, Nintendo should have released this a year ago. And it got a few likes. I mean, it's hard. Of course, it's hard to separate ourselves entirely from the leaks. I will say, as one who usually likes the innovation Nintendo brings to hardware, I'm not seeing a lot of that here. Maybe that mouse feature is it, and I am excited for that. We haven't really seen how it's going to work, but the trailer did seemingly suggest or support the idea that it can be used as a mouse. But beyond that, it really just does seem like it's a better, improved Switch, and it seems like it's even less of a jump than, say, the 3DS from DS, which had, which at least added motion controls in that case, and the 3D screen, of course. So, but ultimately it's going to come down to the games, and we only saw one here that looks similar to previous games.
Let's also say too, like part of the reason why it might not have been released is to make more units. Like that could be part of the reason why there were so many leaks, is because they might have been manufacturing it for a while compared to previous generations.
And that's been the rumor, right? Exactly. That's why there's been so many leaks for this thing, because it's being made. It's been being made for a while now, apparently. And it sounds like this may be easier than it usually is to get a console at launch. Hopefully, so.
And games, of course. Giving time for all the games to cook.
I will say, it was pretty easy to get a Wii U at launch, too.
Oh, no.
Paul Gale's in the chat. Hey, Paul Gale. They say, let's go, GameXplain. Thanks for being here. Thanks to all 2,500 of you watching right now for hanging out with us as we've been watching the reveal of the Switch 2, going over it in every way we can, which is, not a whole lot because it's very much like the leaks. Which on the one hand, there are elements of the leaks I liked a lot. I actually really do like those portal colors. The blue and orange, I think that's pretty sharp. It actually does make it stand out a little bit compared to the existing Switch. Valentine with the super chat says, I guess the leaks left you deflated. A little bit, perhaps, but I don't think it affected that much. The mouse, I will say, the mouse feature would have been. Actually, you know what's funny is I don't know if we really even picked up on the mouse tease here if we didn't know about that, right? Like it's so subtle.
I don't.
Like,
Yeah, I don't think we would have at all.
yeah, it's like it's just doing a weird transition. But now that we know there's an IR sensor or some kind of sensor there, it's like that's probably the mouse feature, you know? So
They could have called it out more by having like a flash of the red light or something, but
yeah. Which is, again, this whole reveal so weird for Nintendo. Like, it really does feel like something more like the OLED announcement or the new 3DS or 3DS XL's announcements, where it is just hardware focused. They go around, like, showing off the new features. Except in those cases, they even had, like, an announcer talking about it. Whereas here, there's, like, it's just music. And us to infer what it means.
Yeah, Andre, when they showed off those ones, like the OLED or the new 3DS XL or something like that, they never showed it with any new games, right? Like,
No,
it was just,
I don't think so.
Here's the console, and like here's the previous games that work on it, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. So this isn't that far removed from that. We get one game this time, which is what Nate had said. Nate had said that it wouldn't be focused on games, and that there may be, you know, one in passing, and that's what we got. So, yeah. Well, any other thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up? Anything else you want to touch on? Anything you're excited for? Oh, real quick here, we have D-Thaw in the chat says, "Hey guys, currently talking with my chat, and the guys in the chat are scared for a side port on Nintendo Switch that looks very fragile, and it'll be easy to break it." So clearly, people have concerns about this, and rightfully so. Like, I think I'm with Tom that Nintendo probably stress tested it enough that's not concerned. But then again, who expected the Joy-Cons to start drifting after a few weeks? You know. So hopefully they figured it out, but I will be very annoyed if that's one of the things they fix in a revision 2 of Switch 2. Switch 2 2.
like hopefully it just goes straight in and out. But like the way they angle a Joy-Con out at the end, that's what everyone's gonna do. So there has to be a bit of a gap in order not to be breaking it there.
Oni in the chat, Oni Kuro says, should have showed an impossible port using DLSS. That seems like a no-brainer to me. That seems like a total no-brainer. Because, I mean, unless it's not here, which I'm sure it is, just because all the other leaks have been accurate so far, I'd be very surprised if that's not accurate. Why wouldn't you show at least something? You know, some third-party game that would have been impossible on Switch, running on Switch 2 in 4K? In fact, real quick, is this trailer in 4K? It's not. Even this trailer is in 1080p. What the hell? Clifton says,
Andre, to that point too, like,
no, go ahead.
Even if they showed like Breath of the Wild, like running in like 4K,
Yeah.
like, oh my, like, why they could have just simply showed that in the background. Oh, here's what it looks like your Switch 1 game on the Switch 2. Instead, it's just Mario Wonder.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
nothing
right.
else. Like, we can't tell the difference.
No, it looks the same. That would've been cool. Like, hey, it'll breathe new life into into some existing games with, like, you know, way better, you know, visual fidelity or, you know, higher resolution, frame rate, whatever it is. There were the rumors of Breath of the Wild running at what, 60 frames per second in 4K at GDC a couple years ago. Someone is asking, Clifton's asking, what are your thoughts about the third trigger button on the back? Let me go back to that. So, the Joy-Cons. I believe though that's just the
release
the
button.
release for the Joy-Cons, I believe. But I don't think we actually see it in active use here. I'm trying to find a good time. Oh, here we go. Here's a, you can see it right there, I believe, at 1:15. It's not a great look at though, but yeah, I believe that. Oh, here we go. Right at 1:17 or so. You can see, yeah, that is, I believe that's just a release button for the magnetic Joy-Cons. That's what the rumors have stated, so. Anyways. Mark Blow, thank you for the super chat, says, when will it launch? We're speculating earlier based on the Switch 1's reveal. I'm thinking June. I think June is the most likely window for it at this point. Because that would be 2 months after the April event, which is roughly how long the Switch launched after its January event.
Yeah, that would make sense to give time for pre-orders and stuff. Like, I was hoping for a super quick turnaround, but let's be realistic.
Yeah.
They still gotta sell Donkey Kong.
That's true, good point. And Xenoblade
You've already sold it
Chronicles
twice,
X.
Nick. Come on.
Liam says there's no IR camera at the bottom of the right Joy-Con. We were looking at this earlier, and from what we could tell, it looked like there's still something there. So, I mean, unless we're missing it, or unless we're mistaking something else. But if anyone has like a good timestamp for that, but from what we saw, it looked like there was still something there in the right Joy-Con. Let me bring it up again here. Yeah, right. You can see an oval type thing, which looks like the IR window, to me at least, on the right Joy-Con. So
Wait, how many buttons are on the Switch Joy-Con when you're playing it in excuse me, in I guess single Joy-Con mode on the back? Is there just two? The ZL and ZR?
wait, sorry, say that again.
So when you have the original Joy-Con, right,
Yeah.
and you're playing the single Joy-Con, how many buttons are on the top technically? Is it just like the
It's the
ZL and
two.
ZR?
If you're using one,
Okay.
so yeah.
If you're just using, because am I crazy? But skip to, let me find a good point. I'm looking at the red one. Skip to 54 seconds in.
Okay.
Is that a C button? Is that another button next to the, I guess the SL or SR? 54 seconds in on the
Or is
right
it?
Joy-Con.
It might be a circle, kind of.
Right? Like, there's something there.
Yeah, I think from what I believe some speculate those are where the magnets go, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the one on the other side is that we were looking at the circles on the ends.
Yeah, I'm looking
That
at
one has
those.
like I believe a pin that comes out that I think even more securely holds it in place when it's detached magnetically. I believe that's not official, but that's based on the leaks. So yeah, it looks like I don't think there's any more buttons on this aside from the C button, but yeah, I believe that's the case. Nintendo C with a super chat. Thank you. Says, how much do you think it will be? I'm thinking $3.99. I think lock it in. I think, actually, to be more specific, $3.99 at the lowest, I believe. I think it's likely to be that, but I think that's the lowest it comes in at.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like Nintendo is always conservative on prices. They don't want to have something that's really expensive out there. They want it so a lot of people can get it.
Right.
That's
And
why
this is not-
why it's not always as powerful as other ones at launch.
Yeah.
And this isn't the there's no mention of OLED, right?
No. Nothing.
So it's just gonna be just like the original Switch, the screen.
LCD? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the rumor, yep. But it would be newer LCD technology, and like my Analog Pocket is an amazing LCD screen. So hopefully it looks better than the original Switch, because that one's a bit hard to go back after using the OLED. And also, sorry, Nate, Nick, to your point again, were you asking about the circle thing at the edges of the Joy-Con or by the connector in the middle?
So
Edge.
the edges. So
Okay.
if you look at, where was I at? I was at like 54.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm looking
what
at
is
too.
it?
Okay.
Yeah, all the way at the top. So if you see
Right.
the plus button, there's like a little circle there.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about too. So I believe those are speculated to be the magnetic connection points. I was making sure you weren't talking about the button in the middle on the next to the connector point.
Oh, that's
port.
that's the sync button,
Sync,
right?
exactly. Yeah, just want to clarify that. So, yeah. So what's your guys' hype level at right now? Like for the Switch 2 in general, based on this, and don't let my opinion influence you. What do you think? Are you excited? Like, is this everything you wanted? Is it more? Is it less? Were you expecting more from the reveal? Just where's your hype at and why?
So yeah, our last discussion, I think I was at a 7,
Okay.
maybe a 6. I'm still around there because I have to see the games. Like seeing Mario Kart is exciting, but
Yeah.
when it looks just like Mario Kart 8, I mean, and there's not much to see. Oh, there's 24 racers maybe. There's not much to go off of it besides that. So I'm gonna say put me at like a 6 or a 7. I'm still kind of like lukewarm.
Yeah. I'll say I'm a bit lower right now at a 6 because there's only one game shown, and I had hoped for a new Mario first and not Mario Kart. Like this, having Mario Kart here kind of indicates like what you guys are thinking. Probably Mario Kart first and Mario later. So, and also like they haven't really shown the gimmick. They haven't shown the OS, which might have new features or not, or like have some of that Nintendo personality. We'll see if it's just made to be super fast for loading games or has fun stuff like Miiverse in it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much more it is that we don't actually know. Because all this really is just an affirmation. It's like, yeah, guys, the leaks are real. Here it is. Now you can use our official renders rather than the leaked ones, even though there's almost no difference. And based on that, it's hard to get too excited for me. It's like, this is literally what I expected. This is exactly what I expected. The only mild surprise was seeing Mario Kart, and unfortunately, it's not blowing me away. Like, I'm excited for it. I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure there are hiding features in there that will make me more excited. But purely based on the snippet we see here, I'm like, that's Mario Kart, you know, like that's the same game we've been playing for 10, 30 years now. Which on the one hand is fine. I want more Mario Kart, but I wanted to see like that big new feature, which we haven't yet. So hopefully we'll get that in April, which I imagine we will. Nintendo Gamer says the Z buttons look different from the back view. Do they? Let me take a look at this. I think they are shaped a little differently now.
Like more ergonomic or...
Yeah. Try to find a good timestamp for it. Wait, does the whole Switch turn around at some point? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
What point are you guys looking at?
So are they... Where's my Switch?
We're still...
Or where are my Joy-Cons? Here,
This
I've
is
got
where-
one Joy-Con here. So actually, it looks very... I think it looks similar, unless you're looking at the lower buttons there, but those are just the Switch 2, or sorry, the Joy-Con disconnect buttons. So I think the triggers, they look a little different, but they overall are similar, I believe, so... Anyways, we got some more super chats from Monster Society. Thank you, Monster. It says, I've said before that popular talking point will be, is Switch 2 as powerful as a Steam Deck? Excuse me, but the reality will be Nintendo fans won't care. 1,000%. Like, even though I still think they should have shown off more of the power, such as, the DLSS upscaling for like a third-party game, ultimately, it's not going to matter. What it's going to come down to is, Nintendo games themselves, how well they play, and Nintendo always makes them look good on the hardware regardless. Regardless of how powerful the thing actually is. So, I think you're right, but I still think they should have shown off more to differentiate itself more from the current Switch. Luigi Green in the Super Chat says, Mario Kart has a gold item box by the Yoshi Diner. Thank you, Luigi Green. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. I almost wonder now if that matches my Mario Kart idea video where that's like a coin box, in the sense that you pay money to get a better item or something. So, or it gives you a better item in whatever way it works. I don't know, what do you want to do, Nick? What's your ideal perspective on that?
Allow us to be more flexible in Mario Kart, because I'm thinking like Diddy Kong Racing and how you can like upgrade items in Diddy Kong Racing. It's like, oh, you hang on to the rocket, I don't know the exact name of it, and maybe you get an item box and then you get rocket level 2. You get another item box, you get rocket level 3. So I have coins, maybe they increase the limit of the amount of coins you have. Maybe it's 20 now instead of 10. And maybe they do have these specific boxes where it's like, oh, I can sacrifice those coins to buy a better item. Like that would just change it up a little bit.
I think it would. Yeah, I don't love how the coins currently work. Because there's not much you can do with them. Like, they don't serve a whole lot of purpose beyond just punishing you for being hit and giving you a speed boost for having them. And I think if they added a more dynamic element to it, that would be really interesting. Like, if you're in first, you have 10 coins. It's like, well, do I want to cash in a little bit of speed, by cashing in 5 coins to get a better item? I think that'd be cool, because that way you're not, that way the first place isn't stuck with, like, items that can't really defend themselves either. So it could add an interesting risk versus reward element, which I always love. Like, whenever a game has like that good gameplay essence, as Sakurai would say, that's when I really lock into it. Like F-Zero 99. So I would love if they had something to that degree here.
Yeah, because in F-Zero, it is a huge risk. It's like, oh, do I want to use the boost to get ahead, or do I need to save it for health? Like, there is a huge risk versus reward there in F-Zero.
Exactly.
Well, and they can always give more coins to people in the back to upgrade their items more, give them more chances.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, final thoughts. Any final thoughts? Actually, real quick, Quoll asks, the big question is, what will be the launch titles? Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll find out in April. What do you think, though? Do you think Mario Kart's launch at this point?
I think so. If it's the first game they're showing on this console, it's launched.
I think so, too.
I think there.
Which means you need another big... you don't need another big game, but I think they will have another big game, like a more, typical single-player game. Metroid Prime 4. I think it'll be Metroid Prime 4. You pair it, Mario Kart, Metroid Prime 4, that's a good launch right there for first-party standards.
So wait, on top of that, are we going to get a third-party game that actually utilizes that mouse control?
We better!
Once you switch, kind of like using the gimmicks of the Switch. So, like, are we going to get like a Mario Paint or something along those lines to say, hey, like, this is why you're buying a Switch 2, to use this specific gimmick?
Oh, I see. I don't think the Switch 2 has that caliber of gimmick to warrant an entire title at launch necessarily. Well, actually, I kind of take that back. I think there's a good chance Metroid Prime 4 will support that mouse, and you can actually...
That's a great way to distinguish it between Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Good point.
Like, you can easily show that off at these events in April. It'd be like, hey, this is why you want to play with this, because the controls feel so much better than playing with traditional controls.
That's a great point. Yeah, I like that. That makes so much sense because I'm having trouble imagining how a mouse could be used in Mario Kart. Like I can come up with ideas, but like it's like is that really what people want? You know, I might want it because it's new and weird and different, but I don't know if everyone wants that. You know, so
No, only if there's customization stuff later, not during gameplay.
David with a super chat says was hoping for a different name like Ultra Switch. Yeah, we haven't even talked about the name. I think because I had just accepted it, like that's gonna be the name. You know, like obviously it'll just be Switch 2. And I love how like everyone's freaking like Nintendo's never done that before. They've never used a number successor before. They can't do it now. Well, look, they shall drop this thing, and it's called Switch 2. They sure can. And I don't know. I'm fine with the name. I honestly don't care that much. I mean, I think if I had to choose a more original name would be more fun, like Super Switch or Ultra Switch 64, whatever it is. But I think it makes sense. Like, it's clear it's a successor, which is what Nintendo needed after the disaster that was a Wii U, you know?
Yeah. Keep it simple for, like, parents out there who might know nothing about games, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the newer, more powerful one.
I mean, it's worked for Sony for such a long time. It's working for Apple. It's like, oh, here's the iPhone 23. It's like, okay, I understand this is the newest iPhone. It's like, okay, I understand this is the newest Switch. Just put a number at the end.
Exactly. Someone in the chat does say the logo is boring, and that's totally fair because it is. It is a very boring logo. I will go so far as to say, I may reassess later, but I will go so far as to say this is the most boring Nintendo hardware logo they've ever made for like a main console, main system. Even the 3DS was more interesting. But this is literally the Switch logo, which by itself was a brilliant logo. The whole like yin and yang thing and how it shows the Joy-Cons. Brilliant. So well done. They just slapped a 2 on this thing.
Yeah, having the 2 there, it's like you look at it, and obviously we know how to say it, but you look at it, it says 2 Nintendo Switch. Like, the 2's not even at the end of Switch.
It's too much Switch. Too much Switch.
Just want to say quick Happy New Year to Andy in chat. Thank you. Be a long time GameXplain fan. And yeah, like they could have done 2 dots in the Joy-Con logo. They could have done that, but then it's like that's very subtle. So this is just like the in-your-face simple version. Why reinvent the wheel on something you don't have to? Sometimes it's tempting to do it, but you don't.
It almost feels like Nintendo's a little scared, you know, like because here's the thing. Every Nintendo successor, even the successful ones, have done worse than their predecessors. The only time they've reversed that trend is when they do something entirely new, like with the Wii or the DS or the Switch. Those are the only times. So Nintendo may be like, what if we stick as close as possible to our most successful system of all time and pray it works this time and does, you know, at least as well as the previous system. I honestly think it's still going to be an uphill battle in the sense that I don't think this will match Switch 1 sales because there's just more competition now. People have a Switch that I think some people are going to be happy with that for years to come. But I think they may, you know, this may be their attempt at like not having a system that sells substantially worse than the previous one. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is too, like, do you want to risk with a new gimmick, maybe turning off a bunch of people? Like, if there's a little thing like the mouse, that's great, but I think Nintendo would almost be hesitant to do that. Is my guess.
I think so. Cadena says, hello from Spain. Oh my god, hello! How's it going, Spain? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for being here. Monster Society with a super... Oh crap, I lost it. Did we have Monster Society's super chat up there?
I put it in... it's me hoping for a prequel called Mario Iliad.
Nice. I like it. That feels especially epic. That's how you follow up Odyssey. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it.
I tried to zoom in and look at the back logos to see if there's something like 4K, but I can't see anything on the Joy-Cons. Maybe on the bottom of the Switch.
Wait, it looks like a logo, you said?
No, like there's different imprints on the back of the Switch, or like on the Joy-Cons itself, saying Nintendo and like CCE. It kind of looks like HDMI, but it's the YouTube compression is fierce.
Oh yes, it can be. What timestamp are you at?
That was at 140. Probably on the system itself and not on the Joy-Cons, but maybe someone will be able to decipher that later.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know based on the leaks though. Probably, like if there was anything exciting there, we'd probably know about it already. Speaking of which, someone in the chat with a name that looks like it's Japanese characters, so I have no idea how to pronounce it. They say there's a possibility that the joystick, I think they mean Joy-Con, has a mouse function. Yeah, we were talking about that a lot earlier. It seems like this confirms the leaks. This scene in particular here, where we see the Joy-Cons go along the table surface like a mouse, including the little mouse tail with the wrist straps, and we're pretty confident at this point that they have mouse functionality, which I am actually excited for, and I wish I talked more about that. I want to see how that's going to be used, in games. Like, what and how does Nintendo envision this? Like, do they envision us using it on our lap? Do they envision us having a Mario Paint like mouse pad? Which, hold on, I still have.
You still have?
I still have it. 1992, baby. Still got my mouse pad.
I'm glad I bought the Hyperkin optical Mario Paint mouse. That's cool. I'm gonna guess that's Tomei Susuto for his name.
Oh, nice. Good job.
See
man.
if my reading's a little bit better.
Those Japanese language classes coming in useful. So already.
Well, watches I got it totally wrong. But anyway.
Wait, going back to Mario Paint. Mario Paint isn't on NSO yet. Right?
No,
like,
it could be.
Switch Online. So I mean,
NSO,
about time.
You got to think big though. Like they could just bring it back like a new updated version. Why not? Like they have a lot of stuff from Game Maker Garage and different releases over the year. They could iterate on that.
The thing, they brought it back. They have to do something different with it though, because like like kids these days know how to use Photoshop, right? And Nintendo's not gonna match the functionality, so they have to find some way to make it fun. And Nintendo could do it.
I think that's where you connect the C button, right? Whatever that may be, the connection, the campus room or whatever, like have that connected to the Mario Paint and let us share our paint on there, just like Miiverse, right? Like bring back Miiverse. This would be the perfect thing for it.
Yeah, it would.
Or it connects to your phone or something. You can just bring in photos. Instead of Undo Dog, AI Dog. Oh, I'm sorry.
God. Suplex YouTube says thoughts on Mario Kart 9. Yeah, we've talked about this. Like on the one hand, it's a new Mario Kart. I'm inherently excited. On the other hand, I legit for like at least half a second, I'm like, is that just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again? Like, is that a new booster course track? And the more we look at it, the more we're seeing some of the differences. But I'm not seeing that like that massive like new thing or that massive jump, either visually or gameplay wise. And also look, Peach has a new design too. I'm now realizing as well, like a little softer face almost maybe. Anyways, the character. Oh, I just paused it at a funny moment. Mario's stretchy face. Seriously, I like that. I like how the characters look.
He goes over a bump or a jump at some point, and Luigi's head too is like the proper weird shape. So.
Also, it looks like he's using like a almost more like a dune buggy type thing, which is similar to some artwork Mario used to be featured in, like super old art. I'll have to find it for my analysis. Which is, it kind of looked that way to me, but maybe it's been the jump. Let me take another look here. Yeah, and it's got like a little squaddier, dune buggy type look almost. More than like a standard cart, which is cool. It might just be again the more chibi art style they're going for. It seems like, but not quite chibi, but more cartoonish or was where I'm looking for, stylish, I guess.
Yeah, stylized.
Yeah. Yoshino says the style looks softer like Wonder. Yeah, it totally does, which I like. I actually do like that. So I'm glad it doesn't look straight up like Mario Kart 8, but at first it kind of did,
Do you guys remember the first trailer for Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U? Did they show off the anti-gravity or anything like that? Or was it just... I can't remember what was the first course that they showed.
I don't remember the first course. Oh, I think they showed off the main Mario circuit, the one that's like the
figure 8. So if they did show that, they definitely showed off the gravity because that has the anti-gravity in it. So
right.
I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't have anything to help us. Like, we could easily see that there's possibly 24 racers, but they didn't blatantly show that. Like, they could have showed that, maybe showed off like a battle royale feature, or like, oh, here's people getting eliminated as you race, something like that.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's what makes me a little concerned that there's not like a huge new thing here. But maybe there's enough smaller refinements or additions. Maybe that'll be enough to like change it up. But yeah, it is strange that like again we're not getting that immediate big thing. Whoa, speaking of big super chat from Samurai Smack. Thank you, Samurai Smack. Says, depending on the hardware, I think not only will it outsell the Switch, I predicted is going to have greater third-party support than even the Switch did, especially the hardware can keep up with a PS4 or PS4 Pro. That's a bold That's a bold take. The Switch sold insanely well, so if this sells more than that, Nintendo's set forever at that point. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree with you that I think there's a good chance this has even greater third-party support, at least to the extent that we see more parity with the current with the other hardware systems like Xbox and PlayStation. I think you're totally right in that sense, and that could help it lend it better sales too. So.
Hey, wasn't it just last year? Of course, this is early in the year, but they brought on that executive to help with more third-party outreach. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of third-party, I hope we get Switch 2 versions of third-party games. So, for example, like I hope we get Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but it has costumes of like Mario characters or Nintendo characters for the Tekken 8 or for the Tekken Tag characters. They did that with I think Skyrim. I think there's like a Link outfit. They've done that for, I'm trying to think of other third-party games where they added some kind of Nintendo outfit or updated version for it to bring over to the new hardware. But yeah, Tekken Tag 2 comes to mind because you can have like Heihachi wearing like a mushroom, like a Toad costume, or like Steve Fox wearing like a Fox McCloud costume. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, like Bandai Namco has a super good relationship with Nintendo, so that is highly likely.
Another super chat from James. Thank you, James. Says, I hate to say it, but I'm getting slight Wii U vibes, lol.
Oh no.
I to some degree I kind of see it. I'm not too concerned, but I think they were very clear this time that this is new hardware. But that wasn't the only problem with the Wii U. So I do kind of see what you're saying. I'm not worried really at this point that Nintendo's going to fall victim to a similar fall that they had with the Wii U. But I do kind of understand what you're saying, where it just kind of feels like an upgraded version of what we had. But the funny thing is that the Wii U was, much, in my opinion, in terms of like hardware and power, it seemed to be a much bigger step up from the previous system than this one does to the Switch. So, which is interesting. So yeah, I think it's kind of like Wii U vibes, but in a different way, if that makes sense. But not to the same degree. I don't think there's. I'm trying to even remember back to how I felt during the Wii U reveal, because they handled that totally differently too. Where we didn't really see any games either during its reveal, as I remember. Like they showed tech demos. I don't think we saw any games until the following year.
Maybe that's part of the reason why they didn't show a gimmick here. Just make it clear it's a new system, not to mix the message more with like, oh look, these new features, the new Joy-Con. It's like, oh, is it just new Joy-Con for my Switch 1? Like, no, this is just Switch 2.
Right.
Because that's the problem people had. Like, for us, it's obvious it's a new console, but
that's true. I mean, that's a good point, because keep in mind, not everyone's going to watch this trailer. Like all the hardcore fans will. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. They may not be tuning into this, right? And if they
they should be.
And, and they go into a store and see a Switch and Switch 2 like side by side. Are they going to really understand the difference? Like, will they? I mean, I guess that's where the 2 is carrying a lot. Like it's doing a lot of work there, where people I think inherently understand that's the successor, so it'll hopefully avoid that problem. But maybe people will be like, yeah, Switch is good enough. Let me grab that. If we don't already own one somehow.
There you go, Nick. That could be a new short for you. You go into like GameStop and like asking grandma. It's like, hold on, can you tell which one is more new? And they're like,
well, the one with the white Joy-Cons looks more like an Apple product, so that looks newer to me.
Yeah.
Keaton88 with a super chat, thank you, says, when do you all think we'll start seeing third-party announcements? Today? Next week? That is a good question. We may start seeing them sooner than the April 2nd event. Here's why I speculate. I think all the big ones will still hold out until that event, because Nintendo will probably be working with them to like have them highlighted in a showcase, in a highlights reel. But I think there's a good chance that we get some teasers from some smaller third parties or indie developers, perhaps, that they'll be on the platform. Because we've already had that to some degree. They're like, future Nintendo products, we'll be there, so.
We might get it in sort of fiscal reports or like question and answers for some of the big companies for their shareholders. Like, yeah, we're going to have games there, and maybe they'll have to tease something, but maybe we'll start seeing. No, like you probably wouldn't even see if a game's coming to Switch 2, because probably they'd want to have that as part of a huge big tease, like everything at once.
Right. Yeah. Another super chat from Everything Zombies says, "Look at Donkey Kong's eyes. Looks like Super NES Mario Kart." Yes,
See,
I
that's
love
what
that.
I was kind of getting at, though. That's what I was getting at for the eyes.
Yeah,
That's why I was saying like the original.
I no, totally, I get it, and yeah, like it reminds me of like the Mario movie, the more classic style for Donkey Kong. I dig it. I like it. I like it something different. I hope all the characters have been reimagined to some degree. We can tell Mario looks a little squattier, a little cuter. Peach has something like a softer look to her face. Bowser looks pretty similar at a quick glance. Same with Luigi. It's hard to tell. We're going to need that closer up look. But the irony to this whole thing is, like I said earlier, you're looking at these racers from behind. So are they going to look any different from behind, really? Donkey Kong might, but anyone else, So.
Yeah. I would say Luigi did look a bit more cartoony, more like Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the race car, like Luigi's cart in one frame at 155 is kind of tilted up with a boost. That looks kind of neat. So, we'll see.
Wait, at what time? 155?
Yeah. I guess that's just how it is.
I think that
with,
happens.
like,
Yeah, I'm watching right now. I think that normally happens in the current game. I could be wrong.
No, it's probably how it happens. We just don't see it from the side too often.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it does look cool there. And wait, how did they get these boosts, by the way? Oh, the boost pad. Duh.
Boost pad.
Yeah, sorry. It's still early for me, guys.
Wait, do we know we've been live streaming for a bit, but do we know, have they said anything on the Nintendo Switch, like within the news section, or is Mario Kart even listed on the eShop yet? I highly doubt it, but in the news section, I wonder if they posted anything in there.
Oh, I haven't looked. I doubt it. There's no name for it yet, as far as we know. So, because they would just say a new Mario Kart, and I don't think they would list with that. Maybe
because they don't even have a logo for it.
Yeah, right. Which is how they've announced Mario Kart games before. GameCube had a weird reveal or confirmation that ended up being different than the actual game. This time, I expect this to be what the actual game. I mean, this is what the game looks like, straight up. Like, they're not going to change it at this point, especially if it ends up being a launch title. But speaking of Mario Kart, though, I noticed a couple other small things. One, we actually can see the normal item boxes too in the distance there, like a whole row of them at 156. But also, if you go to the very start of the trailer, I noticed something which may not mean anything. But if you look at...
Wait, where are you at, Andre?
Sorry?
What timestamp are you at?
156? Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. Hold on. I already lost it.
I'm going to say quick while you're looking for that. 151, when the red Joy-Con's still on the screen, you get Mario Death Stare.
Oh my god, you're right. That's a tweet. That's good. But we also I didn't even pay attention. We see the Joy-Con snap on into the new holder too, by the way, which is cool. Hold on, where is this thing I noticed? I'm now maybe okay. I think I saw another one elsewhere. But do you see at 153 there's arrow signs in the background pointing racers onto which way to turn? And I don't think Nintendo has usually done that in like the non-tour race tracks. And it makes me wonder, could these tracks be more dynamic? Like, could they be different designs for them, where they open up and close different routes depending on which track version you picked?
Well, when you see the overhead version, there's a lot going on.
There is.
Like the overhead, there's a lot going on the left for like what could be different routes and stuff. So.
Oh, I know where the timestamp is now. I was getting confused. At 141, you can see it again too, where behind the Mario Kart sign, you can see a clear division where the route branches off into the off-road segment. And that's why I wonder, like, could these open up that main pathway?
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Probably like this could be a later lap, and maybe in the first lap you go left, and later lap you have to go right. So.
Yeah, which is how the city tracks work currently. So I wonder if that's a sign of, that was an early sign of things to come for future track designs, where they either change dynamically or there's different tracks, variants for each one, kind of like how F-Zero Super Nintendo worked or F-Zero 99 works now. So.
I'm just seeing those, like, rails that look like rails you would grind on in Sonic. I'm like...
Oh my god, actually... Could that be?
Or like the power lines, like is that going to be a thing?
Like that's straight, like
jumping over.
That does attach to the ground in a very suspicious way. Like the green,
and then like the one
bar,
on the right behind the crates as well. Like it just feels like a shortcut.
Behind. Sorry, what were you talking about?
Like when you see at 141 on the right side, there's like a green pipe that comes in and goes close to the Mario Kart sign.
Green pipe.
On
the left.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the left, and there's another one on the right too, but it's a bit different.
Wait, are you sure it's just not the painting? Oh, I see. Outside. You're right. Oh my god, Tom. I think you might be onto something here.
Yeah, and
It'd
like
be
all the
cool.
rooftops or those container crates, like they feel like you could jump across them, but we'll see.
But
That
if
could
they
be a
if they
great.
add
Sorry,
if
go
that's
ahead.
the gimmick, they could add like a Tony Hawk style balancing system, where you have to balance on the rail, and if you fall off, then you're probably gonna fall off onto the off
Oh,
track.
that's
So
an
you're
interesting
gonna go
idea
And
down, and
too.
that's
do
the risk versus reward there.
and doing tricks to get boosts and stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
I like that idea. Yeah, I'm liking this, and also the fact that there is is that like a pit stop, basically
I see
there,
it on the
or
left side of pit stop.
it's a Fireflower gas station. It's a gas station, guys. Could you have gas in Mario Kart?
You
Like,
can't
oh
run out
no.
of gas.
Like that's where you get boost. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more excited now. I'm getting a little bit more excited, guys. I'll be honest. This is hyping me up a little bit now. I gotta do my analysis.
Run out of gas. It's like Excite Bike. You're just like
You're just
running to get gas.
back.
Oh
back.
man, like this could be. I wonder if that could replace some mushrooms, right? Like instead of like there being mushroom-based power-ups, now like you can replenish your boost tank effectively. Like I don't think you're gonna run out of gas, as funny that would be, but you could run out of boost, and this could be
That-
a risk versus reward type thing. Like, do I want to go more boost right away by going off to the gas station, or do I want to keep going on the main path?
I can't see Nintendo making it more like F-Zero though. Even though like it would mean even less F-Zero for us in the future. Like it feels like too hard, but I'd be up for it. Be interesting. We'll
Well, yeah,
see.
Tom, you say it'd be too hard, but they could also have an accessibility feature, just like they did for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it's like, oh, you have like auto gas or auto fill up or something like that.
True.
Maybe you don't go as fast, but it's always there, so you don't have to worry about it.
And the key difference, I
That's a
think,
great
with
point.
F-Zero, which is an interesting comparison, is in that game it doubles as your health, which obviously it wouldn't in Mario Kart. So I think that there'd be less of a risk to it in that you're not going to blow up and die. So,
Okay.
Samurai Smack with another big super chat. Thank you, Samurai Smack.
Thank
Says, I'll be
you.
perfectly honest. I know this won't happen, but I would love the next Zelda to keep the same open world design and art style. Just improve the combat, give me different weapon types, and let me climb on monsters. Yes, climbing on monsters is essential. That should be the next big thing. Make it like Shadow of the Colossus, where you can climb all the giant monsters in the game. So,
Poor little monsters. They just get crushed
yeah.
like Goombas.
All right. Well, I think we should probably wrap it up here so I can go focus on other things. I think. Final thoughts, though, for the third time. Nick, anything else you want to get out there?
No, I'm excited. I'm happy to know that we can actually talk about it, to see that it exists. I'm ready to see the third-party games. I'm ready to see the first-party games. I mean, now until April is just going to be so long and drawn out. I just want it now. So more news, please, Nintendo. But yeah, I'm somewhat excited. Like I said, I'm still at that 6 or 7.
All right. How about you, Tom?
Talking about Mario Kart more, that is starting to get more exciting for me, and especially Nick's idea of the stunts. But I think the system itself, I had hoped we'd get to see like a bit more of the gimmick in action. It could just be them holding off for a while, and like to even have the C button kind of like rubbed out. It's like I don't know. System itself, like we'll see. They did some smart moves, make sure it's different. But they're definitely still holding cards to their chest and not showing us everything yet.
Amiibo cards?
Amiibo.
Yeah. Like this is really just purely a hardware reveal. And it just again affirms what we knew from the leaks. It's just official now, so we don't have to speculate anymore about that front at least. But it really didn't learn much more beyond that. Basically, the things I consider we learned: mouse functionality confirmed, basically, and they're making a new Mario Kart, which obviously, but now we know what it looks like, and that has 24 racers. So yeah, in that sense, it's not that exciting because it's like, well, we knew all this from the leaks and everything else, and even if we didn't, like it seems to be a pretty standard upgrade over what came before, with again the biggest surprise being the mouse features. So there's still some surprises there, though. I'm sure, as you said, Tom, the C button, which doesn't have a C on it, oddly here, we all know what that does. Still, hopefully that's some exciting new thing, or some exciting functionality. And of course, the games themselves. We need to find out more about Mario Kart, what other launch games are going to be here, what other games are in development period, and what even the hardware power of this thing is. Even though Nintendo doesn't talk specs too much these days, like it's going to be unavoidable at some point to some degree, because they're going to have to talk about the 4K DLSS upscaling, which presumably is here, and battery life and things like that. So
I wonder, do they even have to talk about 4K? They could just like, here are the games, and just wait for some developer and interview to mention it offhand. But they'll listen to the reaction.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. So, yeah. Thank you, Jenna, for being here. Appreciate that. Before we wrap it up, though, Nick, where can people follow you at if they want to hear more, hear more from you besides the shorts you've been making on our channel?
Yeah, so like Andre said, besides the shorts here on GameXplain, you can check out my channel, Steftendo. It's Steftendo, as in my last name, Stefanacci, and Nintendo, Steftendo. I primarily make shorts there. I've been making a lot here on GameXplain, and I'll be making more probably about all the Switch 2 stuff, so stay tuned.
I just linked it in the chat too, so click that link to follow Steftendo or Nick over at Steftendo right now. Nick makes a lot of great stuff over there, along with awesome shorts on our channel. So go give Nick a follow if you're watching us right now. Tom, how about you? Where can people follow you at besides here as well?
Wishlist Harpoon on Steam. I know it's not Switch 2. I'm sorry, guys. It wasn't an announcement, but yeah, look for Harpoon on Steam. That'd be great. Thank you. New demo up if you want to play it and have one of those Steam Deck things.
And I just linked to Carpoon as well. That is Tom's exciting indie game. I've played it. It's a lot of fun. Click the link in the chat right now for Carpoon. It's as Tom said, it's a
party game.
A what?
Party game.
Yeah.
Tow trucks with harpoons on it.
That's all you need. So. That's all you need. Except that's why I want Mario Kart now. I want a harpoon as well. So hopefully Mario Kart rips off your idea at some point.
Everyone can use a harpoon. It's fine. It's not trademarked.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us on this exciting day of the Switch 2 confirmation. Finally, it is real. It's a thing that actually exists. The leaks weren't made up, and we know a new Mario Kart's coming. So let me play the video as we close out here. We'll have more on the channel about this, I'm sure, in many ways very soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a great one, and we'll catch you later. Bye. Oh wait, we got super chat. We got super chat. Debated. Running Fox with the super chat says Mario Kart 9 looks open world like Forza. Still has tracks, but a large map with multiple paths. Since the tracks look very flat and boring if not open. Good point. Yeah, I saw someone else mention that too. And that deserts are known for being rather large. So that I love your idea. If there is more of an open world component to this, I don't know if there is or not. I'll be talking more about it in our analysis. All right, now we're out here. Thanks everyone. Thanks for the super chats. We'll catch you later. Stay tuned for more videos from us, including Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever it is. Bye everyone.